Let's see here. And we are live. Welcome again to the Tech Corner. The Concept Corner. We're episode 14 of Dino Island. We're today. With my co-host for today, Lorenzo Stack.
Howdy.
And then so today is not actually my comic. Today we're actually working on a client comic. This is part two of a 3-part story. We will have part one for Comic-Con. I will be at Comic-Con this year. Actually, we can talk about Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con?
San Diego Comic-Con. We will have a table.
Sweet.
I forgot. I think it was a Bare Bones Studio. I think that's the name of this. It may change. The name may have changed. I have to ask him again. And then so we will be there. I will be there. If you guys are gonna be there, you can buy art. You can buy art from me. Make commissions and whatever. And I'll also be on the floor. You know, if you guys just want to ask me questions and stuff. But as far for today's comic is actually an island full of robo dinosaurs. with some Buxman's babes and whatever. And then,
sounds cool to me.
Yeah. And then one of the many things that have happened over this week is that I replaced my graphics card with a better one, and so I went from a GTX 1080 graphics card to a RTX 3070 Ti. It was pricey as fuck.
Oh, imagine so.
It was taxed. It was $844 and
wow.
36.
So yeah, I've heard that now is like a horrible time to try to buy a graphics card because of.
It's been a horrible time for the last.
Yeah, I mean there's because like I know that there's certain events going on in the world that's and then you combine that with all these like crypto miners, and I heard that graphics cards particularly are good.
Was that you or me?
Because
did you hear the beep?
Huh?
Did you hear that beep?
No.
Huh.
I just went, but I've got my windows open, so it's kind of a little noisy.
Oh, well, because I heard like a beep, but I guess it may have been on my end. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Well, I mean, I heard that. First, I'm not sure if I don't know if some of the factories in China shut down for a while because of a certain global thing. And I'm not going to say on air. And then I've also heard with the crypto mining that's quite a lot of times that uses graphics cards.
Yeah, they've been using graphics cards to mine stuff and some of all this weird stuff that I'm hearing about. But the thing is like. Why are they making stuff in China?
Yeah, I've heard India's actually got. I think India's pretty technologically advanced, and I know there's a lot of pharmaceuticals that are manufactured over there, and I think that some people have talked about maybe that would be like a good place to make like microchips or whatever as well. I don't know as much about.
Well, I know Taiwan is Taiwan is doing this thing. So
I'm sorry.
Taiwan.
Oh, Taiwan. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's basically been a bad deal for a while. And then I guess I'm gonna have to keep this style. And then so it's kind of hard to get the car. And then on top of that, from what I'm hearing, they're already making a 40,000 series. I'm like,
oh yeah, I think they're always going to be making something. I don't know how it works. Like, do they plan all this stuff in advance and then just kind of slowly release things, or I don't know.
I don't know. I am not entirely sure. So that's what has me is like the thing is that I'm perfectly fine with getting a 3070. It's like, oh, because I've had people like, why don't you get a 3090? A 3090 is fucking $2,000, man.
There's always going to be the latest, greatest thing coming out. It's you, but,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean. So this is what a buddy of mine who's built computers for me in the past would say.
Yeah.
He would say, you don't always need the latest. If you want the latest, greatest thing, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. But if you get something,
you don't always need it. The thing is like I tell people, the only reason I even bother to really upgrade is because most of my work is on the computer, and so if most of my work wasn't on the computer, I probably wouldn't go out and buy big old graphic cards and what I have, because I would that's what the consoles are for. Those are what my consoles are for. I bought those for the games, to play games on, and so I buy my systems to do my work on. People was like, well, why don't you do both? Well, because I want the computer to last me for quite a while. Right now, I need to upgrade the freaking motherboard, CPU, and I guess gonna have to change the RAM number, even though I just recently got all these. Mainly because the main thing is that RAM, not all RAM is compatible with whatever board you're getting,
Yeah.
And that's the sad part sometimes. But that's something that I'll have to check, because right now I do have 32 gigabytes of RAM in the computer, so it does help, but it's not. But I think the biggest thing holding it back is the freaking motherboard and CPU. And so it's like me going,
oh boy.
No, I looked it up. To even get the next, like they say, the next level up, it's going to cost me at least a good $600, just on a small upgrade. I'm not talking, going to 12th generation i9. I'm over here looking at i7 9th generation.
Yeah, I don't even understand like how these are numbered anymore, because aren't the newer versions like they have like one version of an i7 one year and then a different version another year.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that the first number of every CPU that goes on sale, whether it be AMD I know for Intel, I'm not sure about AMD, but for Intel, for every generation they put the number of the generation. So if it's 7th generation, it's going to say 7, and then the rest of its barcode. If it's 12th generation, it's going to be 12, and then the rest of its barcode.
Yeah, but like an i7 from this year, isn't that going to be quite different from one from a few years ago?
Yeah, mainly generations go up every or change every year or every month, or depending on how fast the company can put out whatever it is they're doing. And then
because I really don't know what to look for, because it seems like you could be comparing apples to oranges. Like,
yeah,
if I get looking at, say,
I would say for you an i5 would be.
Well, that's the thing isn't it like an i5 from now, like a current i5, better than an older i5?
Yeah,
they're still making i5s.
Yeah, they still make i5s. They make 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 7, 9.
A lot of people say that, like, for, say, gaming, an i5 might be the way to go. Because but with a good graphics card.
Yeah, you still have to have a good graphics card for that to work.
No, I think maybe in the future, maybe getting an i7 might be more important with depending on what new features they put into the games.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm by no means an expert on Intel processors or any
I don't know. I know a friend who's he can talk to Moon and back about it, but we would have to talk. We would have to get him on Saturday. That way he can talk about it.
Yeah, I
And
know.
that's it.
I know
That's if he's not
AMD's
busy.
actually
Yeah, because I've been looking at boards all.
made some. They've gotten some impressive technology as well, and
Yeah, because some of these motherboards are like an insane price. Like right now, I think the highest I've seen so far, $432.92. This is an Asus Rock Strix Z690E gaming Wi-Fi socket LGA. Same team was a 32 point Intel motherboard. Yeah, that's a mouthful,
I'm not even following what you just said.
It's a gaming. It's a gaming. I think it's a gaming.
Okay.
Gaming motherboard. A motherboard made strictly for gaming. But the thing is, it's just a mouthful to say. And I guess it also has an extra thing for Wi-Fi. But the thing is that you would probably be better off being hardwired into your computer for things like streaming, gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, Wi-Fi. If you're
You probably don't want to be doing anything. If ideally you don't want to be competitive gaming, or you don't want to be necessarily not competitive necessarily. But I mean, you don't want to be say in a multiplayer game and
oh yeah,
be on Wi-Fi. If
you're a Wi-Fi.
If you're concerned at all with lag.
Yeah, and suddenly it dies on you as you're in the middle of the fight, and suddenly you're like that 1 second lag, and all of a sudden you're dead from a headshot from some 12-year-old on the other side of the map. It's like 12-year-old is laughing at you because you lag from here to Kingdom Come. I mean, you don't want to be on Wi-Fi.
No, if you play single player games or whatever,
then
you're just using internet for looking at YouTube videos or whatever, you might actually have a good experience with Wi-Fi. Especially you got a laptop and you want it to be portable and stuff. Wi-Fi is great for that.
Yeah, I know. I guess I didn't put her. Okay, I guess I didn't. No, I'm talking to myself. But no, it's dumb how one a second can get you killed in competition. So you don't want to be on Wi-Fi if you're gonna be on doing competition games, and stuff like that. It's death and destruction. Have fun.
And I've even heard even the different kinds of routers can make a difference as far as the even if you got even if you have it
from what I've understood, most people will buy a custom router mainly because sometimes they routed from the store, the company router that they give you sometimes is throttled in some way, and so to get more I guess a better signal, they would buy their own custom router. And then actually no, before we'll get back to that, this is my first time actually doing this kind of a view shot, so hopefully it looks good when I get there.
What kind of a shot?
It's like a bird eye view. Not a bird. I'm sorry, a worm eye view. Ugh, sorry. It's a worm eye view, so it's kind of down into. It's basically you're on the floor and the camera's on the floor, and I guess to our left, their right, and so so just imagine putting a camera having it at an angle, and then just kind of dragging it from one end of the as they're having a conversation. You know.
Sorry, like hearing some barking in the background. On my end.
Nah.
No, just like
I know.
got my window open.
I'm being a dork.
Yeah, I don't have my air conditioning on, so I got my window open, and it's just.
Because apparently the people that made my case also make motherboards, and it's a $279.99 board. And, that's not too terrible. And then one thing.
So are you talking about the current motherboard you have, or
yeah, my current motherboard sucks like a mofo. It's old. It's basically because it's 7 years old, but it still works because it takes everything that's working. You know, it does Wi-Fi and pretty damn well. Yeah, it takes Wi-Fi pretty damn well.
Well, that's good to hear. But you're thinking it might be holding you back.
Yeah.
For performance.
Performance for other stuff, because I really can't show that program here because I don't think any because a lot of that content is
that's safe for work.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, because
with YouTube that there's some, they're not going to really always respect artistic nudity, even
if I'm not even really I'm not even trying to be, dirty.
I've heard a problem with Indiegogo where people will have just something very, very mild, and it'll be
censored from here to
it's kind of a weird thing going on, like when the movie Splash was on Disney Plus, and they
I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm like
hair extension,
the hair extension. I'm like
digitally, just like some.
Like you couldn't figure out how to maneuver her butt or maneuver it. I was like, good God, that is such a horrible extension. You could have just you could have done the Sony thing and have like this blinding light, go over her butt. Because they did that. They did because I think this was for Devil May Cry where they had this light effect, just kind of it was so intense that it was able to cover one of the characters' nipples.
What I don't get is like why they didn't just have it set have a setting where, okay, if you have it set up for like a certain they don't
like to think
a certain maturity level, you can watch it, but if you got it set for like G-rated stuff, you can't. That's how I would have, if I ran a site like that, that's how I'd handle it.
Yeah, no,
because it wasn't even like it wasn't a scene that I think was even really I don't remember being controversial.
It was like maybe a few seconds of butt shot, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, and it seemed like it fed in with the story. It was, I think she was just
she's a mermaid
to the ocean, right?
She's running into the ocean. She's a freaking mermaid who.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, who has no concept of nudity or shame as far as that is concerned, because under the sea.
Yeah, she's a mermaid. She can't really be wearing clothing in the water.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things where she has no concept of the idea of shame and in nudity and what have you. So she has no idea that this is for us is a social no-no in many ways. For her, it could be a celebration of life and what have you. We don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, but like. I don't think that it would work to be a mermaid and be wearing like pants
Yeah.
in the water.
Well,
That
from what I've
wouldn't- it
understood,
how could
I,
I think it would be a hindrance to her swimming?
well, from what I've understood, from what I remember of the movie is that she can come when she dries off her legs or
Yeah,
her, I guess her bottom half. She'll spring human legs somehow.
yeah,
It's never given any reason to why it happens. It's just that it does. Yeah,
yeah.
and
It's
then
a fantasy movie.
yeah.
They-
So it's like okay, I don't know, I'll accept it.
Yeah,
You know.
it's kind of it's weird though that suddenly decades later it's become some sort of big issue that maybe they should just like maybe Disney could put that on Hulu instead. If they own
Yeah.
part of Hulu, then maybe they could put it there because that was
Yeah, and like I said, I never.
not aimed for like toddlers or whatever. I'm not saying that's what Disney is for, but
Yeah, well,
you got like the Mandalorian and stuff. So I
I
don't
know
understand.
Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian, and they're killing people left and right, up and down, back and forth, and it's like,
Yeah,
but you don't censor that stuff. And then they had they temporarily censored Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then
oh really?
or the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I forgot. I think it was I forgot what they called it, but they had it was a scene where some dude like was he was I guess he got killed, and the scene was somehow censored. According to them, it was on accident, and I say that. Can neither confirm or deny that, and I don't care to get into it, and I don't care if you even want to fight me on it. I'm not going to fight you on it, so I don't care. But what happened, from what I've understood, is that it was some kind of accident, and they accidentally censored the scene, so the guy looked like he was sleeping instead of being dead because his eyes were closed.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they ever fixed that thing with Splash.
Probably not.
Yes, I think that. So back when I was a kid, they had Touchstone Pictures, which they could release stuff with that, and then that way they don't have to worry about if we put Disney on that and it's a PG movie or PG-13 or maybe they even had I think they even had R movies, but because it was called Touchstone Pictures. People could the branding was different than if they called it Disney.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't negatively affect the brand name if they had something a little more gritty or they had some nudity.
Oh no, I mean because they have put money in a few projects that are strictly not a Disney, not a Disney thing. They have before.
So I think maybe I'm wondering if they're having some sort of like almost like an identity crisis now because they own so many different
I think
franchises now.
Yeah, it sounds like there's too many, like I said, I guess the proverbial too many cooks in the kitchen deal, and then it's too many people with too many different idea on what because some want to put the message, and others want to just entertain.
Well, I was just thinking though more of like how okay they have Disney.
Yeah,
they also have the Marvel brand, but I don't know how much of that stuff is being made by Disney and how much of it is being made by Sony. And then they also have other brands, but they don't have like Touchstone Pictures anymore. And I wonder if there's a way they go ahead. Sorry.
No. You're complete your thought, sir. And then no.
We also used to have Hollywood Records. I don't know if they do anymore, but
I don't know.
Maybe they should just have bring back Touchstone Pictures if they can, or just call it something else. If they don't want to call it, I could totally understand. Think of Disney. I think of I don't think of like mermaid ass. I can understand that. It seems more like a problem with them maybe it not being right for their brand, but I would think that it would be the same way with the Mandalorian too.
Yeah, well, a
Because
lot
that's
of
so it's appropriate for Lucasfilms, but it might not be appropriate for like the
well,
Disney brand.
even Locus Films is not appropriate for itself. There's just a lot of people are just like I said. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, and a lot of them are just they're so concerned with putting in their message or whatever their politics are for whatever the thing, and they're not concentrating on telling a good story because there's a way to tell hard boiled politics and still be entertaining because you have movies like the Patriot Games or Clear and Present Danger. Even James Bond films were had some kind of politics to it, but you had the fun, you had the story that went with it.
I'm not sure if it's currently the case, but I know Lucas used to have this thing where people could go and they could use, as long as it was non-commercial, I think they could make their own Disney fan movies, like and they might have even been able to use some of the sound effects and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not certain how it worked. Like, do you remember there was this pink Lady Vader character? And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
seeing that as much nowadays. I don't know if they're allowing that, but that's something that of course, a
So,
completely different franchise. I
well,
know
the
Star
thing,
Trek,
well,
completely different franchise from Star Wars,
yeah,
but
I
Star
think
Trek has a bunch of fan films. I wonder if maybe they could do. We could. I wonder if that's still
something like that.
possible with Star Wars under
Well, the thing,
Disney's ownership.
the thing is that Disney is pretty notorious for you know making the life of even just some kind of fantasy project. You know, people who put money into it or invest in it or what have you. They cease and desist orders and copyright issues and all that crazy stuff. And like it's like Disney is pretty bad with that. They'll go after anybody who use them
Yeah, well, I know
besmirch
with
the brand with
well, that's
your
how the laws are set up in a way that in order to protect one's intellectual property, one has to go and but they have to go after people if something's not being people aren't getting the proper
well the thing
permission.
is,
But I thought there was I think
well
Lucas did have a thing where to keep it so that he wouldn't lose it. Back when he was running Lucasfilms,
hmm
I think there was like a program where as long as people followed certain rules,
yeah, they were allowed to do it. They were
yeah,
allowed to
yeah,
make
because
their
I
own
think you can.
their own fan film or what
Because I
have you.
think if you set certain parameters, like
Basically,
as long as if it, obviously you don't want somebody making money off of something, but
basically, if it's a fun, if basically all the money that's made for it is a funded by the fans, and it's only for the film. Nobody makes money off of it, so it's like say any money that's collected, it goes straight into the movie, and once it's in the movie, it's done. Anything else is a different matter. It must be sorted was I guess Lucas Light Industrial.
yeah, it seems like Disney could have some sort of special license that and I'm not an entertainment industry lawyer by any means.
I know by
But
any means,
like,
yeah.
it seems like they could have maybe some sort of special license where as long as you follow this or that rule, they won't go after you. But I'm not sure if they do that. It seems like
Because the
Lucas could have
thing,
that, but
because once upon a time, even Marvel was doing that. They would send cease and desist orders for characters like Captain America, Spider Man, so on and so forth. But in the later years, they kind of gave up because it was costing them more money to chase after people, and then
didn't
and
they
so
decide
and
like if you're at a convention, it was kind of a gray area where
yeah,
you
basically,
could maybe like somebody commissioned you to like draw a character maybe on the spot or something, and
yeah. This
you
is why
probably get away with it.
this is why artists are big time artists like you know, a lot of artists that
Yeah.
have worked in the industry, or even myself, I can sit there and do them. As long as I follow something like kind of some of the guys, like, don't have them do this thing, and then so it's basically they kind of they're trying to compromise, I guess you want to put it that way, and then but Disney is one of the few companies I've heard of that the compromising is like not happening, and then
I think they might be planning on doing their own. I thought maybe Disney might one of these days make their own conventions or.
at some point. Well, they did. It was the D20 or whatever heck they called it. The thing that happens in Anaheim.
Oh, really? I didn't know that because I had heard of plans, but I didn't know if they actually followed through with it.
It's Disney. They probably went through with it for a bit and realized it cost too much money, and then they stopped it.
So
I'm surprised they're still going with their Star Cruise thing, because apparently it's losing them money.
What is?
The Disney Star Cruise thing on our park, where you're paying like fucking freaking, what was it? I think it was $5,000 a night, or $5,000 for 5 days.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that damn thing.
So I don't know. I still think that and apparently Star Wars. I'm not sure if they're making fan movies. But like with Star Trek, which again I know is a totally different franchise, I always have to point that out to people because some people might think I think they're the same thing. I think there is some cool stuff going on with some of these. There's different web series or whatever you can watch where like it's got the same look and feel as an episode of Star Trek. Yet it's not being made by
there are a lot of good people who make fan films.
Yeah, because I think that's really where things are at as far as what fans actually want to see. You're not necessarily going to get that sort of experience from the big companies that actually own rights to these things.
Because I've seen people pull off some amazing stuff with for these movies and for their fan films. Like there's like a few for the Friday the 13th actually, Jason movies.
I'm trying to remember if
it was Don't Hike Alone. I think that was the name of it.
Huh? Because I remember Stu had backed a bunch of movies on, like, say, Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. But I can't remember if any of them were the Friday the 13th fan movies. I know. Very well might have been, because he watches all sorts. He's a reviewer over at over for Critical Blast for the website version.
Yeah.
He's also a YouTube show.
No, it probably does, but no, it was called Don't Hike Alone, and I think they made a second one.
Oh, hey, Jeff Potts.
Hey, Jeff.
Thanks for stopping by. Oh, have a good day at work.
Yeah, have a good day, man. Hopefully work doesn't stretch out, dude. Enjoy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so yeah, it's a Jason movie, basically, and a good one, because they also had ones where they dealt with the mom. Forgot her name. Shit.
Do you say the mob or mom?
Mom, his mom. His mother.
That would be weird if, like.
No, they did have
mafia.
They did do one where he where a bunch of criminals had decided to lay low in Camp Crystal Lake, and yeah, they got their ass killed. No, it was
Oh,
actually
okay.
pretty
So they did have one that was dealing with like a criminal. That's
like criminals. Yeah,
yeah. That sounds interesting.
yeah. I thought it was funny. It was like, I was watching it and I'm like, okay, I'll take that one. That was actually funny. Because they had one kill where it's because I want more here because sometimes they want Jason to be more serious, but I think this one I think it was this one where they basically they had him decapitate one guy and it's just the way the decapitation is like don't think that's how that works, but I'll take it, you know.
So what was the original supposed to be serious or
Hmm?
was the original supposed to be serious or was it
The original
parody
was
or what?
the which one the actual
Just whatever part one, the
oh
very first one.
the hike don't hike alone is actually pretty serious.
I'm talking about like the 1980 Friday the 13th.
Oh, 1980. No, that was actually supposed to be very serious. It was supposed to be a straight serious horror movie.
Because I didn't watch those till I was an adult, and then I also watched Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mm-hmm.
the first one, and there are a bunch of these movies that I didn't watch as a kid because I don't know. It's my parents weren't like a fan of like slasher films. We watched all sorts of other movies,
Mm-hmm.
like, far worse than Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was like
It's just
oh
I think
no.
my parents thought that was just kind of a dumb kind of thing and didn't really.
Well, because like I said, the first one was really serious, and I it didn't really turn into a joke, but sometimes they kind of jumped the shark in some manners. I guess it kind of got more supernatural when they brought Jason back as a zombie Jason.
I just remember it being really well made. The original, like, it just
Yeah,
seemed like
the
it seemed
original
like
had
I
quite a
could
bit of
understand
suspense.
why this would be quite fresh because it was different from like a lot of the other horror movies I had seen,
I
even
did
though I was watching it as an adult.
Pamela, that's her name. Damn it, it's like I just remember her name. There's actually a dude. He's on Twitter. Jamie Art. I think. Let me look him up and see if I can find him. And then he does like I guess an alternate universe of Friday the 13th movie where Jason was saved, and it's a pretty fun thing. So instead of Jason being the bad guy, he's like the accidental good guy, you know. And then they made it to the point where they introduced Michael Myers, and much like Jason, he's a good guy in this version in this universe. He's a mechanic, and they had some stuff happen, and he like he's literally taking a stab at fixing something, and it worked. Just like the literal definition of let me take a stab at it. That have anybody's heard that phrase before?
I have, yeah.
So
Freaking
yeah,
humans
he
and their
literally took
violence phrases.
yeah. Such a violent phrase, and he literally
Yeah, so I think what I did is I watched as an adult, like I was like one time I was just like or maybe maybe it was I think I had cable and they were showing movies like the very first Friday the 13th, the very
yeah.
first Halloween movie, the very first Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mm.
And those were all like real solid real solid movies as far as I'm concerned.
Mm.
I think what happened is they like they made so many different sequels that whenever that happens, I just kind of tend to, I don't know, there's my family just kind of tended to look down on sequels. Maybe
Mm.
that was the deal. Plus they
Mm.
all came out when I was a kid, so
Yeah, it's a Jan
I didn't
Lee.
watch them till I was an adult.
Cool. Yeah, no, the guy that does the Jason stuff. It's his name is Jan Lee. Jixum
What does he do?
Junk Mix at Junk Mix Art. He does an alt universe for Friday the 13th
Oh,
character.
that's cool. So like it's is this like a fan tribute type thing?
Yeah. So
Well, that's
I don't
awesome.
think
Yeah, that's
I don't think he's making money off of it, but it's a fun thing he does.
yeah. That's why I was saying like it's not like it's unless and some of the companies are losing money, but unless they just lose massive amounts of money, these big corporations aren't going to necessarily when they go and they do something like Sonic 2, in the first Sonic movie, when they went out and they fixed the character model, I think now those are special exceptions. But I'm going to assume, when a Hollywood movie comes out, that 9 out of 10 times it's going to be bad. And maybe I have overly low expectations, but you got all the thing is I think we've reached a point where, yeah, if Hollywood does make if there's a good Hollywood film, go out and support that, Yeah, don't tell people, don't pirate or whatever. Just, put your money where your mouth is or whatever. Like what you did. You said you went out and you watched Sonic 2.
Oh, yeah, because I saw Sonic 1, I saw Sonic 2. I saw Sonic 2 twice, actually. Because I saw it first by myself, and then for Mother's Day, I took my mom to go see that because she wanted to see that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So the cool thing is we got these fan-made movies, but then every once in a while, Hollywood will put out something good.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen very freaking often, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and so I think we're kind of a transition period when it comes to movies where, maybe the movies that are worth seeing at the theater might be ones that maybe we'll have to have like alternative types of movie theaters that are showing like these independent movies or whatever. Like I guess Hervoyer said that. Kind of jumping around topic wise.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things, going on. Like, I think these fan movies are great, but I also think it's really cool when Hollywood does make something decent. You said you watched this twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I said, I watched it twice.
I can't think of the last Hollywood movie I saw that I wanted to watch a second time.
I don't know too many movies that are. No, I mean, because it's like I saw Endgame once, and then that's it. I've never seen a Marvel movie twice in the theaters. Usually it was like once. Actually, I haven't even seen the other Spider-Man movies. Now that I think about it, the only one I watched was Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. That's the only one I've watched. People will be like, "You haven't watched the other ones?" No.
Which one do you see watched?
Homecoming.
Oh yeah, the only Spider-Man movie that I watched is I watched maybe one or two of the Sam Raimi films.
Yeah, I saw one.
The first. I remember the first one, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw all of Sam Raimi's movies, but I think the thing I kind of realized is that this trying to make Peter a kid forever and ever and ever is really hurting the character. So the always resetting him.
He ran a business and everything. But,
yeah, they couldn't let him. They couldn't let him keep Parker Industries. And like, why? And the way he lost it was so retardedly stupid. It's just like you cost a bunch of people their jobs. They were making money from you, and then you just decided to throw it all away. Even Doc Ock was like, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, I don't understand though with the movies why they would just keep rebooting movies where he's a kid.
Yeah,
and when he's when he's an adult in the comic books. Because even if they didn't like the storyline in the comic books, I would think that they could have their own alternate timeline or universe or whatever where Peter Parker doesn't have to give up his company, or something else happens that's noteworthy. They don't really need to have him as a teenager all the time. It's kind of weird. Every few years they have to remake him as a teenager. It's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Was Disney and trying to keep him? Because this thing was Peter has been, even before they got bought out by Disney, is that they've been trying to keep Peter this single dude, was like no ties to anybody, and it doesn't work. After a while, it kind of it stops being a thing because
yeah, that's why it made sense. You gotta have character progress. I thought it made sense with Sam Raimi. Okay, here he's like Peter Parker. He's a kid. He's relatable. Okay, but they could have.
He was literally in his senior year
when they made,
He was literally in his senior year for Sam Raimi.
Yeah, and then they could have
they graduated him and poof, college. He was college bound.
Yeah, they could have made, when they went and made future movies, even when if they just okay, we need a different actor. I think they could have just. I don't know why they had to reboot and make him a kid again and again.
Because even the Andrew Garfield movies kind of shied away from being a teenager. He was a full grown adult in that one.
Oh, was he?
I do believe so.
Oh, okay. And I think that did. I know there's fans of Garfield. I only know about the cat. Well, didn't they bring him back? And I guess
they brought him back for No Way Home.
Well, that's cool. And I think that one did pretty well at the box office. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it did pretty. It did. Yeah, it did really well.
Maybe.
And I think Disney learned the wrong lesson from that shit. But
what are they doing? Are they just?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go. Since they like this nostalgia, we're gonna go on this big nostalgia trip, and I think a lot of
just keep doing crossovers and stuff.
Yeah, because I know because that's what they were doing with Flashpoint. That's what they were doing with Flashpoint, and because they're getting Michael Keaton for Batman, and I'm like, you know how old Michael Keaton is?
What he might be good at is like, let's say they had one where.
He could be Alfred.
What I'm saying is, let's say they wanted to do a movie based on Batman Beyond. Maybe that would be the time to have Michael Keaton there. Have him be the old
Bruce Wayne.
Old grumpy Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And then have what is it, Terry? Is it Terry the kid's name?
Yeah, Terry.
Yeah, bring in
Terry McGinnis
to play. Terry McGinnis, yeah.
Yeah, Terry McGinnis.
Because that would be that could. Because Michael Keaton seems like, he's a good actor, and it would be good to see him, and maybe in that sort of role.
Yeah, and like I said, the thing is executives are taking the wrong lessons from that. The thing is that No Way Home kind of decided to put more respect towards the character and then some stuff. I think my only thing is that goes with the way they set the world. They really couldn't do an Uncle Ben because they just kind of they didn't for whatever reason they just decided no Uncle Ben, and so they took Uncle Ben's line and they gave it to to May.
How was it that we ended up talking about DC Comics? How did I end up?
No. Well, I was bringing up the correlation because.
Okay. So it sounds like both Marvel and DC are going in that direction.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched Batman Beyond. I think I have that on DVD or Blu-ray, and it'd be something fun to watch. but it seemed like he was kind of a bit jaded, like he had retired and maybe not in the best mood. But it seemed like, even though I don't like that happening with characters, like I didn't like that happening with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I know
It
that.
does make a little more sense to me for Batman, and it's not just he just sits around being grumpy. It's like he's also mentoring a kid, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which then you look at Star Wars, and Lucas won't even mentor. So he won't even mentor Ray, which would have been like it would be.
It would have been a certainly lot better explanation than her suddenly being able to do 40 different things out of nowhere, Yeah,
it makes more sense with, say, you got like Batman too. That makes more sense that Batman would be grumpy than someone who's a Jedi master who's supposedly mastered their emotions, right?
Because pretty much. It was like Luke was supposed to be the dude that mastered his entire emotional spectrum. I guess you might put it that way. I guess he would be. Luke would be the equivalent of a White Lantern, who's from DC. If you want to use DC, as comparison, he would be a White Lantern because that's where Luke is mentally. He has made it to that point where, there's, he enjoys life, but at the same time, he doesn't let tragedy completely just derail him.
It would be like if Spock all of a sudden started he just started killing people or something.
I know, right?
Like for no reason, like he's going to kill his nephew or something. It's just illogical.
It was just so out the fucking door. I'm just like, I was like, okay, it's like, you know what, story wise, I think I could have, you could probably do something a little more different. Like, say, introduce something that's kind of like a Jedi killer, not so much, not a Jedi killer, but more like a Force killer. It's something that's that's corrupting the Force and what have you, and it's up to Luke and everybody to stop it from killing more people, more Jedi, or more Jedi to be, but at the same time, you have the Sith who are just being dumbasses themselves,
I can't believe I'm talking about The Last Jedi again. They did have some pretty cool potential there with it was interesting to see what was going on with like Rey had some sort of, was it a vision, or she got kind of, was she like sucked into the earth or something weird? Something weird happened where they were showing something going on with the Force, but they didn't really explore that much,
Well, from what I've understood, a lot of the stuff that was supposed to come up, apparently Rey was supposed to be a robot of some kind, and somehow she's able to use the Force.
So,
yeah.
So she would have been like kind of on her own, like or would she have been part of the dark side, or would have?
No, I think the thing is that I guess she was supposed to be some kind of Force clone type deal, Force robot clone thing, Bob, or whatever the heck they were. It's like, you know what, I had that idea too, but mine was a little less convoluted than what you guys had in mind. It's like, it's like, and I'm the dude that tends to overthink things. Even I'm going to you guys fucked up.
I do think that did they ever explore any sort of independent, like, Force users who weren't affiliated with the Jedi or with
they were doing like, I guess you want to say, like, sort of a tease with Rogue One, was the guys like, I believe in the Force, I am one with the Force, and he's going over and over and over and chanting it, and somehow, for comedy's sake, it happens.
Was Mace Windu, was he a Jedi? Because it seemed like he was kind of like, some fans say that he was kind of dealing with both, kind of like in between light and dark.
Yeah, I think people were trying to insinuate that he's a great Jedi. He's in between. He can use both the light and dark side of the Force. which
That seems
technically
to be
was
against the whole Jedi.
well, it's not even the whole Jedi. It's not even against the whole Jedi thing. Is the technically that would actually be balance. You know, if you really want to sit there and be a little bit more of an ass hat about what balance actually means. You know, it's like that's not what balance actually means.
Huh.
Bringing balance to the force doesn't mean it shouldn't mean killing one side or the other. It means bringing balance to the force, which means there should be not so much gray Jedi, but a balanced
That's
force
something
using.
that I think they were
You know,
trying to. I think Brian Johnson or whoever wrote the script to The Last Jedi. That's
Mhm.
something where I think maybe they were trying to explore that, but it didn't really. I don't think it panned out. I
Yeah,
actually did enjoy that. To tell you, to tell you the truth, I did overall enjoy that movie. I mean, it was.
I think
I just thought it was a little silly and
I think
disappointing
what
with
hurt
how
it
they treated Luke. But I just
honestly,
overall, I thought there were some plenty of
honestly,
fun moments.
yeah, honestly, the worst part was how they treated Luke. And you could probably forgive everything else in the movie, but the way they treated Luke is what got a lot of people up in arms.
Yeah, because I thought even though the dialogue I didn't understand the dialogue with
Yeah,
but what's her name
right.
Director Kelly Marie Tran played Rose
Uh
Tico. I actually
Rustico.
found her more likable than I thought I would. I thought they should have made. They didn't have to make her so kind of like.
I think the thing is that they
They
had
want
her.
to be careful, like
I
homely
think
or whatever. But they should have done is made her more like the personality that I saw in interviews because
yeah,
she just she
as a
just
because like as a
seems like a
as,
really cool person and very
but
unique and could have.
but but her character is just kind of like this weird 180 of her, and it does the actress so much injustice. It's like, guys,
He
what were
was
you thinking
so
when you made this
enthusiastic.
character?
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because the character was just doing dumb shit, and then but I think the real tragedy, honestly, was John Boyega's character Finn. They, the,
Yeah,
yeah,
Finn's another character that had a lot of potential.
and they just kind of fucking mastered the character because
They
China does not like black people, man.
well, the thing is, I think they had a lot of really solid actors, but they just didn't have the right, and that's what it makes me sad. I was like, I feel bad because people should never harass the actors. They shouldn't even if you don't like Kathleen Kennedy, don't hassle her either, But
I'm still trying to figure out how this lady keeps a job. It's like
yeah,
I guess she has
but
I guess she has a stuff on some of these people because man,
I don't know.
you would think after losing so much money for the company, your ass would be out the door.
I think I don't know. I don't even like the decision to hire what's the guy's name from Lost?
JJ Abrams. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
again because I've said it. I think I've said it time and again. Is JJ Abrams is the guy that likes to do the mystery in the box.
Yeah.
And
So I
that's
didn't like it when he was on Star Trek. It seems like maybe now but it seemed like he had hired like when he directed movies. It seemed like he had good cast members. So I don't know if he was involved in the casting process. If so, maybe that's what his job should be doing is finding the right actors or whatever to play certain roles, like make him casting director or something. But yeah, he should be actually the directing a film, as far as I'm concerned, because it's storylines tend to be incomprehensible,
Well, a producer, I guess then. No, but the thing is that J.J. Abrams is the guy that likes to do the mystery in the box, Seven, some movies like that. So I think my idea would be to get J.J. Abrams to do a Batman movie that is more about being in the mystery, the detective part of Batman.
Yeah.
Not all the fighting and what have you and the gadgeteering, but the straight up, well, maybe the gadgeteering because that's part of the detective stuff. have him do a true Batman mystery movie. You know,
But
a who done it movie, and you have Batman trying to figure out who the killer is before he strikes again. You know, that's. I think that would be more.
Did Lost ever wind up making any sense at the end? Because I don't know if he's he's very good at creating a sense of mystery. I just don't know if J.J. Abrams is very good at like
finishing the mystery.
Yeah. Maybe if you teamed him up with like the right person, like somebody who knows can kind of fill out some of those loose ends or whatever.
Yeah, particularly the ending.
Yeah, because if maybe work with him so that it's all leaning towards like a solid conclusion.
Yeah, and like I said, that's my thing with JJ is JJ Abrams with Abrams is that he's more this mystery guy. He's not this big adventure guy. There have to be plenty of actors and what have you that can do. Directors that can do in a sense of adventure. You know, granted, you're not going to get Steven Spielberg because I don't think he has any interest in doing that. And then James Cameron is busy with Avatar and whatever the hell he's doing with that, because he just kind of abandoned Battle Angel Alita. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then
so that was weird because I thought there was going to be a sequel to Battle Angel Alita.
I don't know. I heard there's supposed to be a sequel for it, but that's it. It's right now it's just rumors until something is confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just immediately. Well, I guess not immediately, but like I'm surprised that they haven't like come up with a storyline and start shooting by now. Obviously, you don't want to immediately come up with something if you didn't have a sequel.
But the thing is that when Battle Angel came out, it was fighting I think Suicide Squad. No, I'm not Suicide Squad.
Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel came out. At the same time.
I think it was Captain Marvel. No, not Captain Marvel. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I think is when it came out.
Well, I thought Captain Marvel was out at the same time, and people are saying, "Don't watch Captain Marvel. Watch." And the thing is, the two movies weren't actually competing against each other. I mean, they were totally different kinds of movies.
Angel, let's see. Because it came out. Let's see here. When did it come out? Come on.
2019. I think a lot of this stuff came out around that time.
Because it was fine with another. I know it was fine with another movie.
I thought it was Captain Marvel because yeah, and that was Captain Marvel came out in 2019 as well.
Okay, so it's either Captain Marvel or it was
You're saying Suicide Squad?
Or no, not the Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn and the fabulous multiplication of Harley Quinn or something like that. And the Birds of Prey movie. Birds of Prey movie, basically.
Well, I think that was 2020.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember at the time.
Oh no!
Captain Marvel.
And
there were a lot of elitist fans saying, "Watch Alita, don't watch Captain Marvel." It's if you like both, watch both. No, if you don't like Alita, but you like Captain Marvel, watch Captain Marvel. Yeah, that's
no. Yeah, now I remember. I apologize. You're right.
Yeah, things.
You're right.
Yeah. I just think it's a thing where if people really do like something, it doesn't harm me if they watch it. But
Yeah.
I had no interest in watching Captain Marvel, so I didn't watch it.
I didn't really. I just didn't like Brie Larson as an actress. It's just like a lot of the stuff she's in, she looks like she's so bored. And was like, why are you in there then? Like, you know? Yeah,
With
like,
Battlestar Alita, I might just prefer to watch the anime.
you know. Well, the anime is short. It only follows like maybe one section of the book. There's no series for it, from what I remember.
Okay, well, I'll probably watch. So if I can get Battle Angel Alita on Blu-ray for a decent price, I'll get it and I'll watch it that way. That's the thing with going to see a movie is these days it costs so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I might as well just just wait till it's on sale and buy it.
Yeah.
Or wait, till it's reduced price or whatever. And
yeah, no, it was Sonic that was battling with Harley Quinn.
yeah, I can rent it. I don't know what I can rent it in was it ultra high definition for which I don't even.
I'm not even sure what the hell
I
that
think my
means.
display can capable of really fully displaying that for like $4. I could buy it UHD for 20. That's Prime Video. I'm wondering I could probably get it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
for about
you
20.
should probably be able to get it from on Blu-ray for like $7 and now, like at Walmart or something. Let me see here. Now, now you got me thinking about it. It's like, okay, let me look this thing up. Walmart. You got me looking up stuff now, man. Because, like I said, they
Blu-ray, you can get it for $9. Alita Battle Angel Blu-ray.
Yeah, you can get that for you can get that for a freaking.
Here's a $400, $399.
Yeah, no,
$399 limited edition.
No, they got the Blu-ray DVD digital code box set for $8.99. It's on sale right now. Yeah, $8.99.
Wait, this is a box set.
It's basically it's the Blu-ray and the DVD and then the digital code if you want to download it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It's $8.99.
Yeah, that $400 box set is a bunch of stuff together that you don't need, unless you're.
Yeah, there might be some behind the scenes stuff or something.
Yeah, it might because it might come with a metal case and what have you.
Oh yeah,
it comes with a basically it comes with the art book for the movie.
Oh really?
Yeah,
obviously,
so that's what a hardcore enthusiast.
Even if I wanted it, I wouldn't spend that much.
Yeah,
on anything.
Even I wouldn't spend that much. It was like oh,
that's silly. But yeah,
dumb.
let's see.
It's dumb. No, but that's yeah, that's how it's been. And then
let's see. Making sure. So order total $9.53. Place order. So here we go. Like right in the middle of our conversation, I just
bought Battle Angel Alita.
I just wanted to order. So that's what people need to do is they don't necessarily need to order that particular movie, but I'm just saying, hey, they got some cool Sonic movie. Well, then go out and watch it. Like you watched it twice. That's cool. Or there's some cool fan movie. Well, support that. That's Whereas, like, how much time did we spend like complaining about like Star Wars or whatever?
Well, it's
kind of a waste of.
It's kind of a waste of breath, really.
It's kind of interesting, but it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, because if I had the money, I would just make my own Star Wars movie. I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just make my own fan-made movie and then show it to people.
So there's so much to that expanded universe. So many of these books and so many of these video games that I could spend probably the rest of my life researching all this stuff. And
yeah, because
and
It's
have
like
plenty of
the
material because I'm such a slow reader, anyways. They could just.
right. No,
And
because
I've
like
got
the Force
I've got
Unleashed.
a bunch of the books that I haven't read.
Now, if you ever get a chance, try playing the Force Unleashed, and then
Yeah, might have that.
you might have that one. Because basically it's just them going, okay, what if the Force was like this insane thing? You're on the level of a Marvel superhero or a DC superhero,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
you're able to throw around things and this and that, and you can pull down Star Destroyers from out the fucking sky and what have you. That was the thing. Was a Force Unleashed. In regular Star Wars continuity, you can't do that shit. I mean, you can move stuff around and what have you, but you're not moving a Star Destroyer. You're not pulling a Star Destroyer out of the sky.
Do you think Luke could have done that? I mean,
I am not sure. Maybe later on, but most
like
certainly
Old
not
Man
when he's
Luke,
not.
like they had in the Last Jedi. I wonder if
He
because
probably.
they had him like. But again, this is Disney. They had him on a different fucking planet, right?
Yeah.
Fighting a battle like using like astral projection or
Yeah, I know.
a Force Ghost or whatever. Like that part of that it made him like. I don't think any other Jedi could have done that.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, is that they for the most part they like Luke wasn't really being Luke. It's like
so.
Yeah, and because like I said,
sorry to bring it
I
back.
know there's an episode in a Clone Wars, I think it was. Someone can correct me later on, but I guess it was in Clone Wars. Anakin did something similar. He didn't actually pull the Star Destroyer out of the fucking sky, but what he did was the ship was already falling out of orbit. You know, if he let it fall where it was falling, it was going to kill a bunch of people, right? So the story forces him to try and move the ship to one side. You know, so the ship is falling, it's free falling, it's coming down. So he's just kind of guiding the ship away from people, and even that was a fucking feat for Anakin to do. And he was done. He was out. He was tired. You know, he was tired out just doing that, just guiding the ship out of the way, not actually forcing the ship. You know, well, it's forcing the ship, but it's not. But he's not actually yanking it out of the sky. You know what I mean?
Would that make him Weird Al Yankovic?
Probably. Dare to be stupid? Yeah. and then we're gonna have somehow Yankovic is gonna show up somehow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, like I watched a documentary about him.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. They showed.
They're making a movie with him, right? About him with Daniel Radcliffe.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I was like, they're making a movie about Weird Al.
I'd recommend the documentary because I thought that was pretty cool. Because there was one scene where they showed he had like this chart that like of one of his songs, and even like had the spot where like the kazoo comes in or whatever, you know, like I mean it was pretty interesting to see how he.
Well, I mean, it's pretty interesting seeing how some of these people got to where they were from where they started and what have you. And you know, it's sometimes it's just a surprise and how what it took to get from point A to point B. You know, and you're just like, how in the, you know, because it's crazy how some of these people went from living in the back of their truck, their car, van, whatever, or from a cardboard house or whatever, and then to being rich, you know, and having 2, 3, 5 houses and all this other crazy stuff. I'm like, how the hell? You know, and like what I was discussing the other night was TJ from my server. Snoop Dogg who's essentially like, okay, Snoop Dogg is that an adventurer that's managed to complete the whole entire who's completed the main quest and now is doing all the freaking side missions. This is like, this dude has been doing like everything to to just stay in the light. It's like, holy crap, dude. And then because
Well, he
Snoop,
seems like a real businessman. Like it seemed like he had all sorts of different things going on. Like I think he even had his own porn magazine for a while, which I don't think hardly anybody buys those things anymore. But
yeah, the internet kind of killed print in a way, I guess.
yeah, I think so. So, but it was, I seem to. I think I saw him on like interviews with, say, Howard Stern. Maybe maybe that's where I learned about that, was an old Howard Stern interview.
I think what gets me is that he practically him and Martha Stewart practically like best friends. Like, how the it's like,
Maybe she's gangster now that
I guess
for a while.
Now that she's been in prison for a while, it's like this is crazy. I'm like,
Yeah, it would be interesting to find out what kind of prison she went to. Did she go to like a rough prison, or
no? She probably went. She basically went for, from what I understood, she basically went for. It was basically like she was going to a retreat. It wasn't actually a prison from what I understood. Basically it was a prison for rich people.
Yeah, it's still not the most ideal place if somebody's being held without, against their will. But it's kind of interesting how there's like kind of a two-layer system with.
Yeah, no.
If you're rich, you go to one kind of prison. If you're poor,
and poor as fuck, you're gonna go to the other one, and quite potentially get butt fucked in the process. But yeah.
So what are you drawing?
I am drawing page 1 of 20 of a 24 page. Actually, it's 24 this time. We usually do 28, but we're doing 24.
Okay.
And this is Pretty Vacant, Dynos Island. So it's
so it's still part of the Pretty Vacant series. Okay.
Yeah, it's still part of the Pretty Vacant series. So this is just a 3-parter that we came up with. He was hesitant to do a 3-parter because it's hard to keep a storyline intact. This is why he likes to do stories where it's kind of one and done in every issue. There's a problem, she solves it, next issue. And I keep telling him, it's like, you can do longer storylines. I don't care, man. Like it's just one of those things. Like, dude, you can just make something longer, And then
yeah, a lot of the fun is if there's a kind of a cliffhanger, and then you want to read the next issue.
Yeah. So this is him stepping out of his comfort zone for this particular project. For this 3-issue project.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, and then normally, so I don't think we're gonna put. We're not. I'm pretty certain we're not gonna have this issue ready for Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, you were saying that earlier. I don't remember if you said that on air or off here.
I think I said it both.
Okay, yeah. So
I mean, like I can probably get a couple pages done every day.
Yeah.
But in this, I guess in this instance, because
well, that's coming up really soon.
Yeah, it's coming up way too soon, and I just got all the pages, kind of ironed out. But the thing is like there would still be things like editing. There will also be if there needs to be some kind of changes, he needs to pay for. He'll pay for changes, and then he'll. And then we just go from there. And then because the biggest thing is, like I was telling him, is like I've never drawn dinosaurs, but I thought it would be fun to draw dinosaurs.
I didn't realize you hadn't drawn them before.
No, I have not drawn dinosaurs. I've drawn everything else. I've drawn quite a few of other things else. I even done creature features for someone asked for it. I actually did a long time ago. I did for a client. you remember Golden Axe, the game?
Though was that Capcom?
No, I know it was a Sega game. I just can't. It was a Sega game. I just can't remember. I don't think it was.
Battle Axe.
Now you gotta make me look it up again. Golden Axe.
Oh, Golden Axe, not Battle Axe. Yeah, that's like a.
I know it was. I know it was done by Sega, and then
Bandai.
Bandai. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
Bandai.
okay. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of good games too.
Yeah, but because the developer is Sega.
Oh,
Sega.
it was released by Sega. Okay.
It was released by Sega, but I think it was
And the same developer as Altered Beast.
Yep. Yeah. So actually, I think so. Golden Axe should be actually a Sega game, which is funny because because they're trying to do the Sega when they do the Sega movie when they do the Sonic movie, and you get the Sega logo, right? They have Sonic, right, as the front, front for the front feature character, but as it zooms out, it has Golden Axe right next to it. I'm like, yeah, that's a that's a great. I mean, it's a great game, but it's not a game I would put right next to Sonic. Especially if it's a kids movie,
So is this the poster for the Sonic 2? Are you talking about the poster for Sonic 2?
No, when you go watch the movie.
Yeah.
When you know how they have the opening credits, right? You get Paramount Picture and associated with this and this Sega.
Yeah.
So they'll have the Sega thing, and you'll get a thing of Sonic. It shows off Sonic. It's kind of like how Marvel has they'll show a image of Captain America or Thor or whatever, depending on the movie, and then it just as it pulls away to show the Marvel logo, it's going to different characters and what have you. No,
I don't know.
Because I can't show it here. I can show it to you after the stream.
Okay.
Because basically, like, it's pulling out to spell out Sega. You get a bunch of other games, kind of in this nice collage of characters, and it's Sega. It's and then
okay.
But the thing is what they did is that they have Sonic the Hedgehog, and then right next to it is Golden Axe.
But he's other than that, he's not really part of the plot or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Axe isn't part of the plot.
No, Golden Axe is nowhere near the part of the plot. I don't think. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up game, but it's because it was Golden Axe 1, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder, Golden Axe 3, and then Golden Axe Beast Rider, which didn't do well from what I remember.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. It seems like a bit of a non sequitur. It doesn't quite make sense to have him included with Sonic, other than both companies.
Basically,
both products were. I mean, both games.
Both products were under
by Sega.
Both products were produced by Sega, and so they're included in the collage of video games that they have while it's turning into the Sega logo. Have you ever seen the Marvel logo where they have this collage?
I don't watch much Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the funny thing. It's like, when I watched The Last Jedi, the only reason I watched it was people were complaining about it. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't kind of give a free advertisement, but yeah. So people didn't complain about Rogue One. So unfortunately, I missed it when it was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I actually got Disney Plus. It's like $3 or something, and might have some advertising. It might be the version with ads, but I got it on special. I'm gonna check it out. I'll check out Rogue One.
Yeah,
and The Mandalorian.
Like I said, I can show it to you after the stream. We just.
Oh yeah, you're talking about. I'm. I'll probably. I might watch some of Marvel movies if it's on there, if they have them on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they're on Disney Plus. Actually,
Okay.
I think just about
Yeah.
all of them.
So
Just about all of them except the current movies. Because Shang-Chi, I think they have Shang-Chi. Mom fell asleep for that one. They have the Eternals.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah. So I'm sure I'll see that logo the Marvel style logo, and sounds like you'll show me the Sega style logo.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm starting to feel a little. I'm not feeling too well. It's. I don't have an air conditioner in here, and I know yesterday it was like 90 degrees.
Oh, dude, you need to.
I don't have any fans on either. So we're starting to get kind of humid in here. Kind of weird because I would think at nighttime it would get cooler, but it seems like maybe what happens is like as the heat gets.
Yeah.
Like I get more heat trapped in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to get going pretty soon.
Oh no, we're only gonna be here for 2 hours, dude. We're actually about an hour and 25.
Yeah, I'm just starting to. So I'm just starting to kind of feeling not too well.
No worries, dude. You know, if you need to take a bail, you can bail, man. It's like.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about this because you stuck around before for hours, but now with my show.
I remember the
Thursday shows. Go ahead.
I remember the 6-hour show you did.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to cut it down to 2 hours. Even less than that would be ideal. With because George has a show on afterwards.
It's just.
I think
there's too many
Rex got a show on afterwards. I think, and then there's that drawn and quartered fan edition is on, and I think we end up losing a lot of viewers after a couple hours, or maybe even slightly before then. Like you just go off and do something else. We got nearly as many views going 2 hours as we do going 3 hours on the Sleestackians.
Yeah. No, it's fine, man. I think because I got picked up for more work for the not safe work stuff that I do, the comic stuff, and so instead of being bi-weekly, I'm gonna be weekly. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if I can realistically do all the streaming stuff, and still keep a good schedule. Yeah,
it seemed like I remember for a few months you weren't streaming at all.
Yeah, well, it may just be I may have to cut down on a few streamings. Mainly because like this is only 2 hours, so I don't see it as much as of an issue as say streaming for 4 or 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't even know how you do that. Like I used to, I don't have the energy anymore to.
Well, I once upon a time, dude, I used to go like when I first started doing this, I would start at 5 p.m. my time, and then I would just do work until I wouldn't really talk to anybody, but they would be seeing me work for like up to about maybe 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean because I was a dude trying chasing the gold, which I should still be doing, but it was just me going, I need to make that money, I need to be, I need to do stuff, and I'll just stream so people can see that I'm doing their work and what have you. It really wasn't meant for me to like socialize with the whole entire room. And
no, so you were just doing commissions and doing like
yeah, that's what I was
kind of like if you were just drawing on your own. It's just you were streaming it.
Yeah.
Vic King's been doing that lately. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I don't think I've watched his show yet, but
so yeah, a lot of times he might have people on later on, but lately he's starting off where he'll play music and he'll be drawing, and
yeah, that's
maybe he'll talk a little bit to the chat, but it's similar to actually I've seen you do that on some of your Picardo streams. Sometimes might just be you. You might have some music on, and
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that if YouTube would let me play music without striking my ass down into the ground, I would do it. But but that's not the case, and I can't really do that stuff. And
yeah, it's hard to know what.
yeah, because I don't
They're gonna go after someone for like. So they went after a friend of mine's channel because he was being like overly creative with. I think he was being overly creative with some of the titles for his streams,
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to claim he was like deceiving people or something. Meanwhile, like there's all sorts of clickbait headlines on like current event things that like this guy was just doing a gaming stream, and it was maybe just so he was just kind of having fun with the titles, and I think that's a far less, and I'm not arguing for censorship or anything. I just think it's kind of funny that they went after him, and then
then the
they don't go after the people who are talking about like real world events and kind of fudging the details in their headline, to kind of having alarmist titles and stuff. I don't think they should be going after anyone. They really, my own opinion. I'd rather they not, because it just seems like the censorship always seems to backfire. But
I don't know. People are just dumb. It's like they want their opinion only to exist.
Yeah.
That's not how that's not how we move forward. If you're blocking the opinions of others or discounting the opinions of others, you're doomed to failure. But the thing is like there is such thing as a stupid as a stupid question and a stupid answer. Don't make the bare assumption that that one way is the only way, or this way or that way, and this and that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think we're both trying to be vague enough to that it's. I'm not sure if the audience would understand what we're talking about. I think what this one guy was doing was like, it's one friend of mine. Like sometimes I don't know if he got in trouble for this or for what, but like he would like say, okay, he would like so let's say there'd be like some basketball game on. Well, he'd be playing the same teams, but like with a video game. And then he would just kind of, the way he would label it would be, like there's such and such, let's say, Michigan, U of M versus Michigan State, MSU, and live or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't a live game. On the other hand, it wasn't like the end of the world. Like somebody clicks on that and it's not the official game, like. Yeah, I'm far more concerned like with like somebody, they've got some sort of deceptive headline about what's going on in the news. Again, I don't think they should be censored, but I mean, like if I think it's going to be, I think there's going to be the Detroit Tigers, playing baseball against, another team, and I go and see it. It's not the Detroit Tigers. It's not the end of the world. I don't think somebody should get their channel, I don't think their channel should be demonetized for that.
I don't know, because right now,
that's just my own personal opinion. I could see. On the other hand, I could see people getting pissed off. I
mean, well, because
I wanted to watch the Tigers, or or basketball. I wanted to watch the Lakers, and it wasn't really the Lakers,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And no, I mean, like I said, the thing is like I said, I'm essentially I'm no longer going to be bi-monthly on some stuff I do, and so I'm going to be like kind of full-time I guess adult comics, not adult. I mean, superhero run comics.
What is bi-monthly? So are you going to?
But okay, bi-monthly means every 2 weeks.
So are you doing it every week now?
Yeah. So now I am.
Oh,
so yeah.
okay.
So now I'm a weekly storyteller. I guess I'm gonna put it that way.
I thought you were like. I thought you were hosting your streams twice a week on Picardo and once a week on here.
Okay. No, what I meant was that I do render work, right? It's not safe for work stuff, and I was doing stuff for a site that was that had me on a bi-weekly schedule for doing stuff for their site, and they just recently bumped me up.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on that. Then.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know how I went on that side tangent, but
no, so instead of
that
making
was neither here nor there.
yeah, so it comes with, so it's gonna come with it's a bit more work, but it's a bit more money, so that's my issue is trying to figure out how to do that and host streams at the same time. So I may
yeah. Will they allow you to stream what you're drawing?
No, the biggest thing is it's not 2D, it's 3D render stuff. So I can't.
Oh, you're rendering it. Okay.
Yeah. So even if I
so all that's a lot of that's just time consuming stuff where
it's time consuming stuff and it can be pretty boring.
Yeah, the computer itself is
doing the work. It's not me,
right?
And
okay.
It's like, yeah, because I know because I've asked people before and it's like no, thank you, because it's just basically me moving stuff around for and then the computer do the rest of the work, and so I've asked people before and they're like nah, no thank you. Like okay, I figure out
I wanted to watch you stream here.
Rendering stuff.
Things.
Yeah, because basically it amounts to me moving stuff and making the camera because honestly, I think it's been good exercise because a lot of my scenes, a lot of my 2D stuff has benefited from me figuring out how to work a camera angle in 3D stuff. So with that experience, I gotten better at putting together scenes and angles and shots where characters are talking or doing stuff,
So was it Cap who
yeah
does a lot of things? Yeah, he's really really good at like maybe some of it has to do with like it looks like he's purchased a lot of like backgrounds too.
Mm.
Seems like that would be kind of expensive.
Well, a lot of that stuff is expensive content. That Studio is the name of the software. It's free. Right now, I think they're on 4.20 or something to that effect. I think that's how they numbered their updates, and it allows you to use something called Filment, Filment, Filment. I may be saying it wrong,
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but
basically, I guess it's kind of like a visual filter effect that makes your images look like it's either foggy or brighter. You know how some video games they talk about the God rays and the way the lighting volume comes in or the way
you
lighting.
say God rays?
God rays. That's what they call it.
Huh.
And then
like GOD?
Yeah.
I don't know much. I don't really know about that.
A lot of it is video game a lot of it is video game development terms that sometimes it's probably changed from the last time they meant that I've heard it. So they probably changed turned it into a new term.
I'm just not familiar with a lot of like.
Oh, even I'm not familiar
with the terms for these art programs, but that's cool though.
Yeah, even I'm not familiar with all of them.
But so, what do you say it does to the?
Basically, it's like adding a kind of like I guess like a camera effect or visual effect.
Okay. Well, so that's pretty cool.
Hmm?
So this is helping you with your 2D drawing as well.
Yeah, because basically, I'm sitting there with this just doing the stuff I need to do for it, and I have to move the camera around, make see how it looks, and
It's
so
kind of like if you were directing a film or maybe doing the cinematography or something.
yeah, that's basically how you
Well,
want
that's
to do it.
really cool.
Yeah,
You
so I'm kind of so it's helping me with my 2D stuff, that's for sure. Or at least was having that kind of disconcerting eye for it, I guess.
and I was going to say, just because Cap does a lot of, was it Cap? He
Yeah,
does a lot of the stuff with the background stuff. It all depends on if you're being commissioned for something, or
Mhm,
it all depends on what your client wants. Maybe they don't
mhm,
need all that stuff. They don't
yeah.
need you to have like a gazillion dollars worth of,
Yeah,
background imagery.
unfortunately, you do have to pay for the content. Content with that studio, and more
Yeah.
Poser. If you use for those who use Poser, um, and then
Yeah. So, is your main focus though? Like, is your main focus? So, do you do you deal as much with backgrounds as he does, or are you
uh,
mainly focusing on the characters
for 2D or 3D.
for 3D?
No, I'm usually focusing on the characters. Usually, the background is the last thing I kind of. Well, it's the first thing I put down because if I try to I throw characters in the scene and then I try to throw a background into it, it's gonna want to try and erase the scene. So I just so like say I need to have it set in a police station. I grab the content that I have that's for a police station. Um, set up, have just have the scene set up, and then I have all the characters in, and then whatever the script tells me to do, like let's say they're arguing or something. So I have to get all the characters into position, get pose them so that they're in some kind of conversation, argument, whatever for the scene, right?
Yeah.
And then I have to worry about lighting to see if lighting works and what have you, so that the characters are firmly uh, visible.
Is
Um,
Cap doing something different though? He
no,
seems like
it's the same step. The only difference is that we're both using different character models and different lighting sets, and that can cause like a render like a render style, I guess you mean. But it's kind of similar to how comic book artists have different styles of drawing.
yeah,
So we have
yeah.
different
Because I
styles of
know
rendering.
because it seems like you two have different styles, and uh, obviously different people are going to prefer different things.
Hmm.
I just thought it was real interesting. Like just
Yeah.
like he seemed kind of like meticulously detailed as far as the background. It was like
Well,
it seemed like it would take so long to do all that. Like
some of it is because the set was already made that way. So the set is
okay,
meticulous on its own, and we're just kind of going through it, putting sometimes we'll put our own spin. We'll we because they give us because usually sets and some character models want and some character content will give you the text. Well, not just the textures, but the UV, the UV. I guess like to say like a map for the set or for the character, and then you can sit there and make your own textures and sets and see how that.
have you done some of the stuff for like Gias? Because it seemed like he had some 3D stuff that he was showing off before.
Not in 3D. I don't think so.
Huh. So I thought he had some stuff that maybe some sort of leather stuff or like women in leather.
No, he probably showed me something in that.
So I wonder who did that for. Like, maybe he had like some. Like I didn't know if it was Lily or who.
Ali?
was a
I
long
don't
time
know.
ago. Like he had some safer work stuff. I think he showed off on YouTube before, but I don't know who drew it.
I don't know. That's something to ask Cap when he ever comes back or shows up.
I could ask. I mean, it was Giaz who was showing it off, but I mean, it's possible that he had Cap.
Well, it's good because him and Cap do collaborate on 3D stuff.
Yeah, aren't they working on like some sort of comic book or something?
Yeah, because basically what I do all the 2D stuff for all the 2D collaborations with yes, and he does all the and he works with uh, Cap for all the 3D collaborations.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so yeah,
So it's probably Cap stuff.
Hmm?
So then it would have probably been Cap stuff if I'm.
Yeah, it would more likely been Cap stuff. It's like
Okay.
it's like I said about the 2D stuff. If you see 2D stuff from if he's showing off 2D stuff, chances are it's from me. You know.
Yeah, I can kind of tell your drawing style too.
Yeah.
The 3D stuff though, I get a little confused with because I don't see as much of that from you.
Right.
You know, I think that maybe with Cap, I might be able to tell the difference because it sounds like so he uses like different what do you say shading or lighting or what?
Lighting could be lighting. It could also be how he handles textures and
Yeah,
yeah. Because as far as it's concerned right at the moment, he's the better artist with that. He's the better 3D artist with that particular program. Now, if we go to Poser, I might be able to kind of run circles around him in some respect. But the thing is that the difference between Poser and Baz is that Poser uses the CPU where a lot of the CPU whereas Daz has pretty much started using the GPU for all its rendering purposes, which is why I got the card because that helps with the render. So now it's faster render and I'm not waiting 2 to 3 hours sometimes for render to happen. And then
so it looks like my mom might be stopping by in a little while.
oh, no, I'm kidding.
The
Let's see.
yeah. Let's see in about 40 minutes or something.
Okay.
I'm not feeling too well.
All right, man. Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll call it right here because we got maybe 12 minutes. So.
You were only going to go for like 12 minutes more.
Yeah. It's we've been on for about an hour and 48 minutes, man.
Oh, okay.
I didn't plan on going too long,
Yeah, I don't know why it gets burned out so easily, but again, the weather keeps changing back and forth.
Yeah. I don't know. The weather tends to affect everybody differently, and what affects you in one way is going to affect another person a different way, and it just gets.
Yeah, with me, I have a lot of problems with when the weather just keeps changing, and it's so humid here. Living on the Great Lakes, it can get real humid, but I'm sure that's probably the case if I don't know how far you are from like the ocean.
It's I think it was 98 degrees last I checked. We get pretty hot, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's a heat wave." Really? It's summer to us. I guess I think that's my thing. As a Texan, it doesn't. I don't see the weather like everybody else does, and people are like, "Why are you not? Why are you not hot?" Because I come from Texas, and normally we don't care about this stuff. and then, no, I don't know, man. It's like I said, weather tends to affect everybody differently. So hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, is it humid though in Texas with the?
Oh, it's a dry, we basically deal with dry heat like 24/7, man. And sometimes,
Also, okay. So you're okay.
yeah, man,
Because I was thinking because
because
it's
we're because
like in
we're
the because it's in the like the Gulf region, right?
yeah, because we're always in danger of things like crops and grass, dried out grass catching on fire, and so on and so forth.
So I thought because like the Gulf of Mexico and stuff, I thought that was
No,
or is that more like around Louisiana?
I think it's probably wrong in Louisiana. We don't. We get hot. We don't get. We can get sweltering. And we can get all kinds of hot. But
Yeah, so it's a dry heat. Yeah, that might be easier on my arthritis actually. Because Michigan, we've got let's see, we got Lake Michigan. We got like in the UP in the Upper Peninsula, we have Lake Superior. I'm trying to think if we have like Lake Erie or Lake Huron, if that's attached or not. But I've been to Lake. Well, I'm near Lake Michigan and been to Lake Superior before.
Right.
Then we got all these little lakes around, so it doesn't get anywhere near as hot typically as in Texas, but the heat is like a very humid type of heat. Because you just like you could like throw a stone and there'd be a lake. No, I'm exaggerating, but
no, you're good.
But yeah, that's kind of it's.
Yeah, but let's. I guess we're about 8 minutes in, so I guess we need to start. I guess wrapping it up.
Yeah, I put the link to the Sleep Stacking's variety show, which I call it something different each time, but.
All right. If you want to give them give the people.
Oh no, it's 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central.
And where can they find you, dude?
So people can find me at oh gosh, I messed that up. I put 7 East. It's 7 Central tomorrow, Thursday night, on the Lorenzo Sleestack channel. YouTube.com/Lorenzo Sleestack. I finally shortened it to. I was trying to figure out if I could shorten it to the Sleestack. I can't. So
No,
I was going to just
that's
make
not
it
letting you.
Sleestack.
Okay.
So it's Lorenzo Sleestack. I'm
All right.
going to try to copy it and paste it again, but with the word Central in there, because it's 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, not 7 Eastern.
Okay. All right. And you guys can find me at Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at the Tech Corner. You can also find me on Patreon at the Tech Corner, but just be aware it's a not safe for work Patreon. You can also find me at Tier Comics on Twitter, as that will be the handle for all the comic stuff. And I once again forgot to put the freaking Substack. I swear, I need someone to throw a shoe at me. It's like, open the Substack.
So what's the Twitter again? Because I don't think I'm even
at Tier Comics. At Tier Comics, I do believe. Hang on.
Yeah.
At
you could
Tier.
probably just put that in the StreamYard.
Well, it's already linked in the YouTube. So for those for
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I started after like years of streaming. I finally started putting the contact info in the description.
I put it in the description. So I put it for people in the comment section, and we'll put it right here in private chat. And so that's the link. So I'm showing off the link for Lorenzo's show tomorrow, which I will be co-hosting, and so it'll yeah. So hope it'll still be more of the same faces, Eternal Dragon, Orc War Chief, and yes, and a few others.
Yeah, yeah, things get kind of interesting. Like when you get like George and Orc War Chief, you have kind of some stronger opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it though because not just a bunch of people just agreeing with one another. You know, like it can get a little bit heated, but I think last week it worked out pretty well. Where I don't think people were really arguing or anything, but they were just expressing their own opinions. They get argumentative like a couple of weeks or so ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, just people being people.
Yeah, I think the problem is that so I'll send out invites, and sometimes I might invite sometimes there'll be so many people on the panel all at once that they can't really get a chance to speak. Try not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's better if people can have their say, and then nobody feels slighted that way. Hopefully.
Yeah, unfortunately, that tends to be kind of hard. But so you go. So on my show. So for my personal comic, Tier Comics is going to be the I guess like to say the official channel for it, Twitter channel for it, and so you'll get updates for the comics and what have you on that. Twitter update comments on it and what have you. Maybe little teasers here and there, and then and stuff for all the other comic stuff I have in mind. I'll even put this. I'll even put this one on there too, the McLean's comic on there as well. So it's more of a King comic, and then so that'll be that's the idea for the future of updating those comics when I get there.
Yeah, do you know if he's planning on doing a reprint for his campaign?
I don't know. Like I said, because the biggest thing was the paper shortage for mailing out stuff, and I don't know if anybody is gonna put up extra for getting it mailed out. So it may be until next year when we do that we do another Kickstarter for it, because I think we're trying to.
Yeah, I know lots of
out
things are in short supply, but I have heard about the paper shortage too.
Yeah,
because it's affecting plenty of people I know.
Plenty of people, yeah. But
because I'm pretty sure several people I know who make comics and
but I'm pretty sure he'll have enough printed for the show. Because mainly because he has to, if he wants to put down the money for the booth again,
Is part of the issue like with mailing stuff out then?
Yeah, I think it's just mailing stuff out. The comic is always done before he even does the Kickstarter. Usually, I finish the books; they're done and ready to go.
Yeah. So are mailers hard to get a hold of, or for a decent price? Is that the issue?
Yeah, the mailing.
Because
it's an ash can. It's like a small ash can. So it's a specific size, and the envelope he needs is a specific size. But for whatever reason, they do have them, but instead of being like this, this decent price that you can get for a bulk, because he usually gets them a bulk in a bulk stack of 100 or 100 or something amount to them, and he would get them for a decent price. But for whatever reason, this year this year they didn't have any of what he needed, and he just didn't have enough. And then so he's been trying. He put them on order. He's been fighting with them to get ever since to get that order fulfilled. Because he put down the money for it too.
Oh boy. I wish him the best with everything.
Yeah. All right. But all right, guys.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind then that with like ash cans,
Mm.
is he might not, or anything kind of specially oriented that might be kind of hard
Yeah,
to.
kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
All right.
nowadays.
All right, guys. We're about out of time. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching me draw a little bit and hearing us speak on subjects. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully a little earlier because I goofed like an idiot. Back at 3. And I will see you
3 Central,
guys
Texas
Central
time.
Central Time, Texas time,
Okay.
and I'll see you guys next time. Like
Yeah,
later, guys.
everybody.